Hello. Hi. How do you say hello normally? There's no way I can start this intro without sounding so incredibly awkward, but we move. So, I've been asked by quite a few people to do a cell shading tutorial, and I'm not even joking, like I could just be saying that, but people have actually asked, and it's bizarre. Please try to ignore the rain sounds, the effing storm that's just going. Yeah, so quite a lot of people want me to do a tutorial, which I'm very honoured by because I don't feel like I'm an expert by any regard, but thank you guys. So I thought I would start with just like a makeup tutorial in terms of cell shading. I do plan to do, you know, sort of cell shading different items of clothing, maybe a foam wig, but foam wigs are a pain in my ass. But yeah, so it's going to be quite a basic tutorial. So if you want any specific characters that you'd like to see me do, just let me know. But this video is a basic idea of how you can do this type of thing. Let's go. So the two things that I tend to use for these cell shading looks are pretty much the same. So, and I'm not an expert with makeup, so please ignore the shite and lots talk. So I use this eyeliner pen, this Maybelline eyeliner. Oh, I can do the makeup trick. That doesn't work anyway, but we move. So this is, I just get this from Amazon. It's pretty cheap. I think it's like £8 at most. It's not too bad. And I also tend to use this white eyeliner, which I also think I get from Amazon, but I can't remember because I'm an awful person. But yeah, I think the main thing you need is just eyeliner. Like, this is a little add-on that you can use if you want to. It doesn't need to be there, but if you just want some more highlights to kind of highlight certain areas, I find that if you're being like quite a cutesy character, this is going to be good for like on the snoz, the little snozzer. But it's up to you. You know, have your own style with it. That's the whole point. I've basically just done basic makeup. That's what I would suggest doing, or you know, whatever makeup you plan to do for the character. Obviously, I'm not a makeup artist. You can see all my blemishes, all the shizzle. It's not nice, so I'm not an expert. But yeah, I've just, you know, I've done some eyeshadow, blush, foundation, all the shizzle. So that's what I'm going to go with, so then I can go straight into the cell shading. I'm going to start with my eyeliner. That's the word. Oh my goodness me. So I'm going to do my chin line first, or my chins line, but we're going to make out like I have one chin today. So all I'm going to do is kind of outline the chin. Just a basic line. I tend to do it a little bit too long, so I feel like you should make it more of a suggestion than a full line, if you know what I mean. I feel it looks more graceful, more nice. I don't know. Let's go. Okay, so that is the basic line. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not very happy with it already. I feel like it's already too thick, so try to do it as smoothly as you can. Very thin lines if you can, but also make it visible enough, because otherwise there's probably no point you even doing it. So next, I think I'm gonna do sort of, I like to do sort of cheekbone lines, kind of just suggests where they are, just like that. Just a simple little stroke, be appropriate. I'm going to tackle the snoz. So I tend to just kind of outline the nose, but without outlining everything, because then it doesn't look right. I don't know how to explain it, but it looks too blocky, and everything is about suggesting the area rather than completely outlining it. Although everything with this style is cartoon, it's all drawn, I think it's better to suggest, otherwise it gets too much, too blocky. I don't really know how to explain it other than that. So what I tend to do is just one little line across here. It could either be below or it could just be a small line above. So I think I'm just going to go for a below one. Don't know if I like it. I think I should have gone for the above, but we move. And then I kind of, for like the nose bridge, or the snoz bridge as I like to call it, I just kind of like to do a couple of very small lines to suggest the area. So just do a couple lines like that. Doesn't have to be too out there. I'm gonna do a top line as well, screw it. And then it's more suggested then. The next bit is quite difficult and I still haven't really mastered it myself, but it's kind of the side parts of the nose, because for me, I want it to be visible from the front that I've got those lines, but a lot of the time you have to be fully this way for people to see it. So sometimes I go a little bit overboard. Maybe don't do what I do, because it can go wrong very easily. And if you've put, if it's your first time and you've put a lot of effort into everything else, just be subtle with it. So I just forgot to film the most difficult part because I am too difficult. But if I just show what I've just done a subtle line around the edge of the schnauzer. As long as you sort of suggest it from this low bit, I think it works pretty well. It's not too bad. Because normally I do them even thicker than this, and it's not my best work. So what I'm now going to do is just these little lines here. I don't tend to go overboard with that unless you're dressing as like an older man in terms of cel shading. I think it works a little bit better for that. But depending on like a younger guy, younger girl, whatever, kind of just be subtle with it. I will say, with sort of, when I do male characters, I do like to add a lot of eyeshadow for every area before I draw it. Just to kind of, I don't know, it changes the shape of my face, I feel. So take that as you will, but I probably will do like a male cel shading tutorial properly at some point, but this is the basics for, whatever you want to do. I do tend to outline like all of my lips. I just think it works, to be fair. And then I like to shade in the sides just a little bit, but I'll show you here. For the lips, I like to kind of drag it out just a little bit on the sides, just to kind of show those lines. You don't have to do that because sometimes it can look a little bit clownish, which might be what you're going for, but it might not. So, play it by ear, see what you think would work for that character. So now I'm going to shade a little bit with the lips, just to kind of add a bit more depth to it. I've done these a little bit bigger than I'd like to, but we move. Just for the chin, I just do a subtle little line, just simple, and I think it works. Just like so. So with the eyebrows, I just like to outline them. I think it really depends on the character and what they look like and how their eyebrows are, because obviously some have very fancy eyebrows that I could never have, and then others have bushier eyebrows if you're dressing as a male presenting character or things like that. I'd just say look at the character. So they're not perfect and they never will be, but it's what I've done today. I'm sure you could do better. I can't match eyebrows. I don't do my eyebrows on a day-to-day basis anyway, so please feel free to judge me. They're not even level. Hang on. You could argue I've just made them worse, but anyway. Yep, they do not match whatsoever. So I kind of like to add just the odd little, I guess like a little age line, no matter who I'm dressing as. Just as like more subtle detail, I suppose. Just adds more depth to your lovely facade, if you will. So I think now that we've got kind of the basics, is where we can get the white eyeliner into play, hopefully. So I just, usually for Borderlands characters I use this quite a lot. I like to have quite bold highlights and stuff because I think it makes it stand out more, a little bit quirkier, a little bit, like it gives it more of a pop, if you know what I mean. But with sort of Telltale Games characters, when I do them, I don't tend to use this. I just find Telltale Games are kind of depressing half the time, and I don't really want to give it that, like, wow, you know, like that exciting, like, we're so happy. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just gonna get a little bit, and I like to highlight my schnoz area. I think it's just cute. I think it's really cute. So you might not want to do this depending on who you're cosplaying, or you might do. So I'm gonna do it. You'll find that it tends to dry and then looks a little bit see-through, so I tend to go back over it a little bit so it just looks a little bit more bold. I tend to highlight most of the lines I've done. I won't necessarily always do all of them because sometimes it can look a bit much. Other times I do, so again, personal preference. Do what you think would look good, would look good for your character. And like I say, like it doesn't have to be perfect, you know. That's not really what cel shading, you know, Borderlands, Telltale Games, like that's not really what they're about. It's just, it's hand drawn. It's, you know, it is what it is. You don't have to be spot on. There is no right or wrong answer. You can do it exactly how you want to do it, and that's the most important thing. If anyone tells you otherwise, ignore them. They're not worth being in your life, to be honest with you. Advice with Georgia. Okay. For some reason, after doing the dark parts of my eyebrows, I still go over them a little bit with the white. Again, it's personal preference. You do exactly what you want to do. It's not a bottle. Just gonna do my chin. Oh my god, I didn't do my little, what's it called? Little crow's, no, little cupid's bow, that's the word. Pretend that I did that earlier. So this is the basic look for it. It's not my best work, I'm not gonna lie. I probably think if you guys request some characters you want to see me do, I think that's better, because when I have references it works a little bit better. But I thought if I at least show you sort of the basics, like the basic placements of lines and things, you can kind of get an idea for how you could make it look, because it's not, again, there's no rules. No rules to be had. Do it how you want to do it. I think I'm going to put my foam wig on and just kind of show you what it could look like with a proper cosplay wig, because I feel like dressed in this outfit you're not really seeing much, but it makes a difference when you've got a costume on. So I'll be right back. Okay, so this is I look insane with this normal outfit on. What the hell? This is my Amara wig from Borderlands 3. But you know, this is how cel shaded makeup can look with a foam wig, for example. It can still work with normal styled wigs. It doesn't have to be foam because it's quite a tricky process, and it can make you lose a lot of sanity, a lot of hope, a lot of dreams. It's worth it in the end, but yeah, this isn't the exact makeup I would do for Amara, because obviously this is a basic design, if you will, but you get the idea. So yeah, this is my basic cel shading tutorial. All that's left to say is thank you very much for watching my video. Thank you for listening to my awkward northern voice. It means a lot, and thank you for requesting the video, because it means a lot, because there's a lot of talented guys out there, and you know who you are. You might not think you know who you are, but you're very talented. Thank you for the request, and I hope to do more in the future. I also plan to do a MegaCon vlog as well in Manchester coming up. So if you want to be in that, let me know and I'll include you in the vlog. So see you all very soon. Love you.